Australia's bird flu outbreak has taken a concerning new turn, with the first case in a mammal now confirmed. A fur seal found dead in South Australia has tested positive to the deadly strain of the virus, raising fresh fears about what it could mean for our vulnerable marine wildlife and other mammals as well. Joining us now is Professor of Veterinary Public Health from University of Sydney, Michael Ward. Good to have you with us, Michael. So we know bird flu has caused mass deaths among seals overseas. How concerned should we be that we could see the same thing here in Australia?
Yes, I think we should be very concerned. It's likely this virus is really going by the playbook. Exactly what we've seen overseas seems to be happening here in Australia, unfortunately.
OK, so we're seeing vaccinations roll out for penguins. They seem to be a bird of habitual nature, which allows it for them to be vaccinated. Is there a bird flu vaccine for mammals? Could that happen?
As far as I know, yet there isn't one. I mean, that could happen. Yes, it wouldn't be that difficult to make one. But at the moment, they're bird vaccines, so that's what we're focused on.
So is there any concern about this virus eventually spreading to other mammals in Australia as well?
Yeah, there is, because it's shown now that it can do this. So, you know, once into one mammal, it can then spread into other mammals. So pretty much we're not sure, but almost all mammals would be susceptible. So we don't really know about marsupials, you know, kangaroos and koalas and so on, because we haven't seen that before around the world. But definitely other mammals. We've seen in dairy cattle, for example, in North America. A lot of sea mammals seem to be particularly susceptible. So we had this mass die-off on the herd islands. Yeah, so they're really a highly susceptible species. Some of these are seals and sea lions.
Michael, bringing up cattle, dairy cattle or otherwise, we know that in the US that bird flu was transmissible between cattle and humans.
Yes.
What are the chances of that happening here?
There have been risk assessments on this. It seems less likely because of our industry is a little bit different to the US industry. So it's not as high risk. It's still a risk, and in terms of all the other animal industries, it's still the most risk. So dairy cattle would be, we need to sort of look at those dairy cattle, check those, they would be the highest risk.
It's heartening to hear that the poultry industry hasn't been hit by this yet. Should we be concerned? And is that a possible way to transmit from chicken to humans?
Yeah, definitely. And the poultry industry really has ramped up its biosecurity recently, but it's still really difficult to keep wild birds out of commercial poultry operations. And what's even more difficult is backyard poultry operations, you know, chook pens. Keeping wild birds out of those areas is almost impossible when you have a look at those sort of facilities. So yeah, it is a very real possibility that we'll see spillover into poultry. Hopefully not, but it's very likely that'll happen.
We have to be super vigilant at the moment. Michael, appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Here's Nat.